Hi guys, Mr. Yagsik here. This mini lesson is going to be about how to plot fractions onto number lines. The first thing that you need to realize is that fractions are part of a whole. So on a number line, they will always be in between 0 and 1. So the first thing when you're plotting your fractions on a number line is you need to label 0 and 1. And then if you look, they're already split into equal groups. This is pretty much the only time it's going to be useful for students to use number lines to show fractions, because if they make their own, it's going to be kind of hard for them to get equal groups as accurately as possible. If you can even see, this one that I made is still a little bit off, okay? So if you look up at the first number line, it's split into 3 equal groups. So that will be split into thirds. So the first point on this would be 1/3. The second point would be 2/3. And then 1 whole. I like them to be able to notice that 1 whole is not only the number 1, but it's also 3/3. Okay, I tell them that fractions can disguise themselves in a lot of different ways. And 3/3 is actually just 1 whole trying to disguise themselves. And when they see a fraction like this 1 in disguise, I tell them to just make the number 1 around the fraction so they know, that is actually 1 whole. 3 out of 3 is going to be 1 whole. This is going to come in handy when we're trying to prove whether or not fractions are equivalent. So down here for our second number line, it's cut into sixths. So we would have 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, 5/6, and then that's 6/6, which is really our 1 whole in disguise. What's important that the kids need to start to understand is this bottom number, our denominator, it has a value, it has a number, but the number isn't how many, it's the size of the pieces. If you look, 1/6, that just means that it's this big compared to 1/3 of a whole, which would be actually double the size. The denominator doesn't say how many, it tells you the size or like the name of the fraction that we are using. What's important is the numerator is the one that tells us how many that we have. All right? And then for the bottom one, it's going to be 12ths. I won't make you watch me label it, but it will be in my next video labeled. We'll be finding equivalent fractions using these number lines. I hope this helps.